you. I hope you're doing well. So today we're making some postcards. Basically, I just finished a session of art journaling with my Patreons, and I had made a background that I really loved, but then I'm still in my flower stage, like I want flowers everywhere. So I wanted to make some flowers for that spread, and so I used one of the beautiful envelopes that Frances gave me. And then I used some Distress Oxide on them and sprayed with water. Then I used some sprays from Graphic Angels and Lindsay sprays, and it has this shimmer effect. So now I've got shimmer all over my hands. But I made flowers out of it. Some I just hand drew the flower. Some I use bunches, like the smaller ones. But these here have all been hand drawn, and on my spread basically I just highlighted it with some black. So I thought it'd be fun to make postcards using these and put them in my Etsy store for very inexpensive, just so that I have something handmade in my Etsy store, because most of the stuff now that I have there is all vintage items. So I'm gonna keep this, obviously, because that's beautiful paper. I already cut out my my cereal box to make 4x6, and I'm gonna be using this postcard stamp from Penny Black. They don't make them with the wood block, but if you go into my Amazon favorite list, the link is in the description box of my video. You'll find the link to another stamp that was offered. I don't know if it's still offered, but it was in a clear format. Obviously you don't need to use a stamp, you can just handwrite postcards and place your postage and all of that. This set here, when I put it in my Etsy store, I'm going to put it with some envelopes. Not that I think it needs it, but more because I used sprays and things that react to water, and I wouldn't want them to react to water if there was rain. I could, I guess, put some tape, packing tape on it, but it just doesn't look the same. So I'm not going to do that, and I'll just keep it as is. Now I thought it'd be really fun to use these graphic paper. These are accounting paper, ledger paper, and it's funny because I'm out of it accounting, but I always loved ledger paper. Haven't been using it for a long time though. But I do remember when I started accounting, using ledger paper. It was quite something at the time, having to add all those columns with just a calculator in hand, because of course didn't have a Excel spreadsheet at the time. So we're going to be making them 6x4. And I want a background that doesn't have this edge. So I don't think I'll be able to use this one. So I guess I make only 2 out of it. That's not a lot. Just want to cut this little edge. I'm gonna have to blow my nose. Okay, sorry about that. I feel very congested these days. I don't know if it's allergies, but my sinus feel like really jammed. It's really annoying. I need 5. I don't want to waste another page for this, so I will use this, I guess. I didn't want to use the one that had just that at the top, but we'll make it work, because otherwise it feels like a big waste of paper. Okay, so once I've put in the flowers and this paper, before I put the sentiment, I will go and scan out those postcards just because I want to use them for my freebie sheets of my Patreons. I've been having a lot of fun creating more items that I've made myself, and I feel like this is just the right thing. And I can put sentiment using my iPad or my computer later, because I don't want to obviously use Tim Holtz sentiment as my own stuff, you know, like there's copyrights and stuff, and it's important for me to follow those, so I'm not gonna use something that doesn't belong to me and that I didn't make. Okay, there's a little edge. I'll just trim it with my scissors. It's basically about 6 by 4, but even if there's a little sliver missing, it's not that big of a deal. There's enough space anyway on them to write. And you do see some of the background showing through, so we'll have to see how this works out with the flowers. I've got a feeling that once I've put flowers and stuff and then I put a sentiment, you probably won't be able to really tell, and it just makes it a little bit more interesting because you kind of wonder what it is that's behind there. And it shows that I'm using recycled material, which to me is something really important, to try to recycle and reuse as much as possible. And ledger paper now is fairly easy to get at thrift stores. Oh my god, I'll be back. I don't know if it's talking that's creating this fountain, but I wasn't sniffling as much before. Feels like as I'm talking, my nose is running more. Very weird. Very, very strange. See this one, you don't really see the background paper, so I guess it depends on what's written on it and the color that it is. I didn't put my glue. Oh, shoot. First of all, I put the glue so that I get, if I need to move my paper, I can move it. But also to make sure that whatever I put on it sticks and doesn't lift for mailing purposes. But I guess I forgot. So we'll just do it in the little corner, because the rest is glued down really good and doesn't want to lift, so I don't want to break my paper, tear it and whatever. This past weekend, well actually for you guys it's going to be 2 weekends ago, I had a wonderful weekend gardening. I'm aching all over, but for the first time in 2 years, I've started my garden again. And I'm really happy. And I hope to continue. What happened is 2 years ago, I wasn't feeling all that good. And last year, obviously, we know that I was in a bad shape. Mental wise, and so I didn't do anything, and so my husband, to help stack like everything together on top of one another, and it made it extremely difficult to want to go back into the garden because everything was just piled, and it was just a disaster of weeds and stuff in my containers. But I knew that once I had done it, I would be very happy and very proud, and I would love spending time there. So I finally did it. I would have done it sooner probably, but the whole month of May it was raining here, so there was no way to start my garden. But now it started, so hopefully everything grows and I can get some nice fresh produce to eat, because I love to have fresh vegetables, and there's just something about being able to go to your garden and pick out some cherry tomatoes or little Lebanese cucumbers or zucchinis or salad and all that good stuff directly from your garden. This is ridiculous. Every 4 minutes I need to blow my nose. Like, this makes no sense. Let's do this last one and then I'll have to stop again. And I'll be back. Okay, so hopefully this is gonna last more than 4 minutes. I hate sniffling on camera. There's something about that just annoys me. So I prefer to just stop. But this is gonna make my editing horrendous. But anyway, what you gonna do? Okay, so that's the base. Now I'm gonna put the flowers on top, and I guess decide which flowers is gonna go on which, and then I can highlight. Oh, this one has some brown showing. And then I can do the edging on the flowers. I can also create more. I feel that I'm missing some. Somehow this one bothers me. So I'm gonna remove it and I'm gonna create another one. Of course, there's going to be text also on the cards, and I'm going to go around the edges also. Okay, this feels better. This feels like I need another little flower. So you don't need to, like, if you've got punches and you've got dies, you should use them. I mean, that's why you've got them, but you don't need to. You can just and make flowers like I'm doing here, and that works out just fine. Also, like, you don't have to have any type of special supplies. Because this one is a little bit smaller, I think I'm going to make another one here also. So. Okay, so something like that. And then I can adjust the, sorry for the sniffles, I just, yeah. It's been about 4 minutes. It's crazy. I'm just gonna glue these down with the glue gun mostly. Because like I said, I don't suggest sending these without the envelope, just because they might not react well to if there's any rain or moisture or whatever, it might run, and that would not be a good thing. This one has a little spot, doesn't seem to glue down. And then we'll have to figure out what sentiment we're going to put on them and what type of edging I want to do, because I do want to put a darker edge to them. I don't know if I want to do, maybe I want to do the edge as well as inside make a line. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna have to think about it. So I wonder if you guys do gardens. Have you done one? Have you started? Here it was so cold for so long that we couldn't really put anything out because there was still the risk of frost at night, which is crazy. And also why it's like this year I wanted to sow more seeds, but in ground, because, you know, inside the house it makes it difficult because I have cats and they just go into the flower pots and whatever. So I didn't want to put a bunch of seedlings on my table to indoor, and so I wanted to sow it directly outside, but it was so late that I purchased a bunch of plants that were already started. I'm still gonna do some seeds, but not much. Not as much as I wanted, just because it's so late and our seasons are so short, because it's, you know, in Quebec, Canada, it's not a, even though I'm in the city of Montreal, which is a little bit warmer than some other sections, it's still, the season's still relatively short, you know, and I do want to be able to benefit from my garden. Maybe the fall is gonna come late, but who knows, maybe it won't. And if it doesn't, like if it gets very cold very fast, then I'm not gonna get any result, and that would be really disappointing. So I purchased a bunch of things and went around all sorts of nurseries to try to get the best deals, and found quite a few at Canadian Tire, some really good deals. But then if you're in the Montreal area, maybe you have access to the store. It's Free Nevada, and they had the best deals, like a lot of plants for very cheap. So I was very happy with that, and they looked really good too. So I was quite pleased, and because some were really expensive. My local nursery is closed down, which was really sad, but their prices were still more expensive than what I found this year elsewhere. I also increased some of my containers. I have some towers of grow stalks. I think that's what they're called. They're made in the USA. So I've got 4 towers like that, but I also have some other planters, and so I bought some more of those. Very solid. I tried to invest a little bit. Well, every year that I was gardening, I tried to invest a little bit into my containers, because and good quality ones, so that they will last me many years and make it more easy for me to garden, because I can't have a garden in the grass. Like, it wouldn't grow in the space I have, and it would probably get eaten by the rabbits, because we do have a lot of those. Okay, so I'm gonna have to pause again to blow my nose yet again, and after that we'll do the edging, and after that I'll go and scan them and take a pill for my sinus. Maybe that will help, and then come back to filming. So let me do this. Okay, so I went and took my pill because I figured maybe that would help. So now we're gonna highlight the flowers, kind of like what I did here, and I'm not necessarily going over the pencil mark. I don't mind that there's two marks. Just makes it more whimsical. And so this is a Pilot fine liner. I would use my fountain pen, but I still don't have access to my my inks to fill it back up. But now it should be soon. We've started, like, the basement is kind of finished now. So now we're moving stuff out. The only problem is the furnace room area. We wanted to put shelves on the wall, so we could put the stuff on top of shelves, just in case we did have more water, sewer water come in. But with all the time that it took to do all of the work that we did, my husband wanted to work outside too, so we're taking a break from doing the work inside. Plus, poor Abby bent down to put something in the dishwasher and managed to hurt his back. How he did that, I don't know. I think we now need to do exercises before bending down for this dishwasher. I mean, how crazy is that? It's not even it's not even to do exercise. Which shows that he sits down too much. In my case, it shows that I've been doing more outside, and I've been gardening at the studio, and I've been moving my body more. But I do have to admit that this weekend, with all the garden work that I did, my body was sore. Not only was it sore, but I also managed to burn my back like really badly. I put sunscreen, but I guess I didn't put enough on my back, and I thought it was like mosquitoes or something like that I was feeling, but it wasn't that at all. It was actually the sun burning me. So that really hurt. So I had to put oil, aloe on it. Aloe. Yeah. On it. In French it's SOS. So put some of that gel. It really helped, but still, I'm still a little bit sore because of that, and I've got a feeling it's probably gonna peel, which is not the greatest of look. And it's funny because usually I don't get any sun on my back, just because most of the time, like if I'm sunbathing, I'm lying on my back, so my back doesn't get much sun. But while gardening, I guess, depending on what I was doing, my back was to the sun a lot more than I anticipated. So, yeah. Need to learn to put more. But I've been really good. I've been wearing a baseball cap and trying to protect my body against the sun. So now I've got all of these done. I'm gonna go and scan them, and then I'll be back and we'll do the edging, and then choose the words for them and complete them. Okay, so everything is scanned, and now I'm gonna do the edges, and I think I'm gonna go for it and just do the edge like this first and keep it loose. Like, I don't want it necessarily to be I want it to look like it's handmade. Also have to remember to sign all of them. It happens that I forget to sign my postcards. I guess if I sell it and I forget to sign it, you can put your own signature on them and nobody's gonna know. Well, it depends on, I guess, who you send out the postcards to. Because if you send it out to somebody that looks at my videos, maybe they will know. But yeah. So as I said, these will be in my Etsy store. In case you're wondering, for my digital kits, like all the Patreon freebies that I give to them, they're all available for sale individually in my Patreon shop. I removed all my digital work from Etsy, and the reason why is because Etsy charges me for listing them, whereas Patreon charges me when I actually sell it, which makes more sense. Etsy charges when I sell stuff, but also for listing the item. And so, and the listing has to be renewed every 90 days. So, you know, like it's not a lot of money, but it adds up. You know, if I'm selling a set for $4.50 US, and it costs me 50 cents to list it, plus the money that if it does sell, then it adds up and it makes it not worth it. So when I saw that Patreon offered a shop, I moved all my digital stuff there, and I was able to relist some of the older items that I had stopped selling because it was not worth it. And I intend on doing more kits and more stuff to sell digitally, because it's, if you do have access, if you don't have access to a printer, by the way, you can always, so long as you've got a computer, you can always save the document on USB key and then bring it to a Staples and get it printed from them. That's something that you can do. So now I'm also gonna do a little edge like that, just to finish it off a little bit more. I think it gives a nice look. And I'm gonna put my sentiment on it. I need to find some that I'm gonna like. I'm not sure if I want to put them directly on the paper, on the postcard, or if I want to cut out little pieces of this paper and put it on top of that. So I guess I will have to figure it out. I don't know if I put it on top of this type of paper, if it's gonna take away from the flowers. And also, if I was to put black on it, I'm not sure that you're gonna see it as much as if I put the black directly on the ledger paper. Okay, so let's find some sentiments that we like. I like live your dreams with passion. And I think it's probably better directly on the paper. I'm going to put them the right side up, because often my postcard end up being one way but upside down the other way. Okay, so maybe this on this one. Cut out the end so that it looks more intentional, because they're supposed to be put as is, so when you cut them you don't want to have a big chunk at the end but nothing on the front. It's gonna look strange. Same with this one, you know, like the dream finishes closed, but the live would have had this big gap. So that's the first one. I like this one, it's small. Be brave. I think this one could look good on this one. And see, since it has a gap at the beginning and the end, and I'm not cutting it out, I'm not gonna adjust it. I'm gonna leave it as is. So be brave. Everything has beauty. Seems like a good one also. Here we go. Be original. I like that. So here we go. And all you need is love. And that's very true. Love and health. Because without health, stuff is not good. My husband was telling me that one of his employees had become sick in March, and he had gotten something, and they couldn't figure out what it was, and it ended up being a bacteria, and now he's in palliative care, so dying, which is insane. He's only 5 years older than my husband, so like 61. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So these are all my postcards. I hope that you've had fun. I hope that it makes you want to do some of your own paper and make stuff out of it. And if you're interested, go check out my my Patreon shop for my freebie sheets that are kits that are available for sale there. And next month these sets should be there if I can finish them off. I need to find sentiments for them because obviously I'm not going to copy over these ones, but yeah, so that's it. Love you guys so much. I will be putting in the description box below the link to this set on Etsy, and you can also check out if you like vintage and older things, or if you're looking for pieces to replace some dishes that got broken or whatever. I have all sorts of items like that in my store, so check it out. Love you guys. Bye.